my best friend. Didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you and me so close.
Hey howdy hoes, it's Courtney L. Pfeiffer back at you with another video. As promised, today we are going to be talking about how I edit my Instagram photos. So you will need your phone, you will need the app Lightroom, and I'm also going to be talking about a few other apps that I use to edit photos. I'm going to hit record so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Before we get started into this video, please make sure you like, subscribe down below, comment, let me know that you're here. It's so appreciated, and let's get in. So I want to start out by saying that I do sell and make my very own presets. So if you are interested in the way my Instagram feed looks, and you are interested in having your own preset and knowing exactly how to edit photos like I do, I'm going to link that down below. They are very, very affordable presets. They're not going to break the bank. So if you're interested, make sure to click that link. But today I'm actually going to be giving you a free preset, I guess, if you pause the video and kind of screenshot what the actual settings are. I edit all my photos in the app Lightroom. The mobile app is free. I believe you do have to pay for the desktop. I don't do it on my desktop very often. It's mostly on the mobile app. So I think I'm going to start out with these rose photos that I just recently took. I posted some on my Instagram page. Some of them I have not. So I'm going to go into my presets. So basically I go through my presets and I decide which one I like the best, and then I adjust accordingly. So I think I'm going to use 12. Whenever I put a preset on the photo, I usually do not leave it that way because I see some things that I'd like to change. I start playing with the exposure and see what I would like, and on my Instagram page my photos are usually a little bit brighter, so sometimes I'll bring up that exposure just a little bit. I usually play with the highlights as well, especially if you are in harsh lighting and you have kind of those white spots on your face or your skin. You want to bring that highlight way down so that you are not like washed out in your photo. I play with the whites as well. I usually bring that all the way up just to make those whites pop, and I usually bring the blacks pretty far down to make the photo more clear so that some shadows and contrast are present in the photo. I go into color, click mix, and I usually go into orange. This is my little suntan trick to give yourself that fake tan. You can bring up your saturation however much you want. That's a little bit too orange for me, so I bring it just right above neutral. And then luminance, that's way too much for me, looking like the Donald Trump, so I'm gonna bring it just a little bit further back, but I'm still looking pretty glowy. Another thing that I usually play with is the warmth, but for this specific preset, this photo is already pretty warm, but warmth just basically makes it look a little bit more sunny, and then this makes it kind of look like a dreary cold day. I usually bring up the warmth just a tad. And then something else I like to play with is clarity. I like where the clarity is right now, but you can basically see it kind of makes it look a little bit more sharper, and if you bring it down it kind of looks really hazy, which I don't like, so I usually bring that up just to make it. And then another thing that you can play with is the vignette, however you say it. You can make it look a little bit more airy and bright in the corners, or very dark and moody, and I usually don't use that at all. Sharpening is good. I sometimes don't even play with that. Noise reduction, I bring that if there is too much blemishes or just kind of like smooths things up. And then they also have the effects of grain if that's your thing. but I usually don't like that. So I put a little bit of grain just for some texture in there, but usually not very much. So now I'm going to go through so that you can screenshot.
But you've been missing on a little slice of heaven. It's the only place we're living. It's that West Coast point of view.
And that is one of my presets, and I just gave it to you free. If you'd like more presets, you can head to my website that I've linked down below, and I have many more presets. And you'll notice that they do have like kind of summer names, but I still use all my presets I made in the summer for fall and winter as well. They work for any photo. It's not just these summer photos. Now I'm going to talk about other apps that I use, and just for convenience purposes, I'm going to use the same photo that I just did. So I use PixArt a lot. They have cool things like outline, sketch. I see a lot of people put these on their Instagram page. Just one second, it's loading. So see how it's kind of like an outline of myself. It just kind of puts like an artsy effect on it. I'm going to cancel that and show you some other things. You can retouch. So if you want to make a background whiter, I usually use the teeth whiten, and sometimes I do whiten my teeth. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be just totally transparent. Also, sometimes because of postpartum hair loss, I have some bald spots, so I will use hair color to kind of fill in those bald spots. Just being totally transparent. Just remember that Instagram pictures are a highlight of people's life. They are not actually that perfect. Another thing that I do on PixArt is put artsy things in the background. So what you want to do is go to sticker. Just for Valentine's Day purposes, I'm going to search rose petals. It's taking forever to load for some reason. And once I find one that I like, we'll use this one. So I'm going to make it pretty big and see how it's in front of me. So I'm going to press erase, press background, and now it's in the background. So now I just want it in the sky. So I'm going to erase everything that is not in the sky. So now I kind of have like the rose petals kind of coming out, and it's kind of cute and artsy. I probably wouldn't do that to this photo, but I'm just showing you for example. Another photo that I did in the past with that is this for Independence Day. I added in those red stars. So that's just an example that you could do. Another app that I like to use is Lightroom. I'm not going to show you every app, but Lightroom is awesome for giving the sky cool effects, kind of making it cloudier or sunset. Sometimes that can look too fake, but it's cool if you are into editing. I used it for this photo here, so the sky looks very cute and cotton candy like. Another one that I like to use is Tezza. That can put like a dusting effect on your photos. I will show you a photo that I used that for. This one right here, I used Tezza. So it's very dusty. Here I used with the app Unfold. So that has kind of like different frames and Polaroid frames and different things like that. Last but not least, for Photoshop purposes, I use Adobe Photoshop Mix. I use that for things like snow. If there's snow on the ground, I'll usually fill that in to make it appear like there is more snow on the ground. Or also I have used it to cover up outlets and things like that if things are just kind of annoying in the photo. I don't like make my body look a different way than it is with Photoshop. So yeah, that is about all of the apps that I use for editing. And I think I'm going to wrap it up here because he's kind of getting very impatient. And please let me know that you liked this video, and let me know if you have any questions at all. Thank you guys so much for joining. It's a short, fun little video. I will see you Monday at 4 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Cause I'm thinking we'll be alright.